Good afternoon, Galactic Jedis, Patriots, Light Warriors. How are you guys all doing on this beautiful Monday evening, July 29th, 2024? We are on the positive timeline, and it is wonderful to be here with you guys today. I want to acknowledge each and every single one of you guys for being here. Now, today I'm going to go into why it's been taking long for the Y Hats to execute the EBS and Sarah Gacera, the RV funds, and technically the takeout of the Cabal on a mass public worldwide scale. It turns out that there's been a few things that have been happening off world, particularly regarding the Mars colony inside of Mars. All right, I mentioned that most of the planets have been hollowed and are hollowed and are like they have caverns where they have subterranean cities within themselves, or we could say, places where extraterrestrials build out colonies inside of planets. And it turns out that Mars has a lot of layers, about 32 layers deep. And in some of these layers, we could say that some of these negative groups, negative ETs, have been doing some nefarious things unbeknownst to the Guardians until 2 weeks ago. Now, I also wanted to mention, for those who don't know me, I'm Ismael Perez, the author of Our Cosmic Origin, and of course, The Secret Government, Invisible Architects. My mic is working. I could see. Cool. Everything is fine and dandy. And so let's get right to it. Oh, before I do, I always like to give a date in reference because of the fact that I do have some pirated channels that are constantly snatching my work and lives and posting it on their channel, which is really not me. So this is my real channel, the real Ishmael Perez. So on this very day in 1921, Adolf Hitler became the president. It's funny how they say he became the president of the Nationalist Socialist German Worker Party, when in essence he was a fascist dictator, right? And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I like to give a reference in history, and that's what happened in 1921. On this very day, on the 29th of July, that's when Hitler began coming into power in Nazi Germany. And I don't know if you guys remember the true story of why Hitler came into power. For those that have read The Secret Government, their own party orchestrated you could say, the detonation of the Riksdag, which gave the German party the right to rise into power. This is a famous methodology known as the Hegelian dialect, right, where they create the problem, and then people react to the problem, and then they offer the solution that they always wanted. They call it problem, reaction, solution. It is a famous Cabal tactic that they have implemented since times immemorial. Okay, well, let's get into what's been happening the last week on planet Mars, right, which is right outside of our atmosphere. Now, for those that don't believe that that there are other planets outside of the Earth, right? The Earth is not a dome. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. The CIA came up with this concept of the flat Earth years ago in order to debunk the secret space program, as well as the hollow Earth reality, the fact that there are inner societies within the hollow Earth. So all the other continents beyond Antarctica were actually discovered in layers within the Earth, just like the other planets. The Earth is also hollowed. So let's get right into the intel. I want to welcome everyone once again. My name is Ismael Perez. So today, let's gather to discuss an ongoing mission of monumental importance involving the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Allies' efforts to protect and secure not only our future, guys, but the future of the entire universe, right? So as we delve into the details of the critical mission, we are uncovering the hidden battles being fought inside of planet Mars. Again, planet Mars is also hollowed with inner Martian caverns. Okay, so the vigilance over Earth's super volcanoes as well. I want to go over Yellowstone. Because in the last few days, it's been reported that it could erupt, but have faith, guys. It's not going to happen where it's going to destroy or create massive destructions. There are measures being taken by the Galactic Alliance right now as far as monitoring the Earth changes that are coming. So, and of course, the unstoppable momentum towards the global disclosure and the Great Awakening. Okay, so let's start with the Mars colony. So the Martian colony has been a site of covert operations for years, mainly by the ICC. For those that don't know what the ICC is or stands for, it stands for the Interplanetary Corporate Conglomerate, and it was a breakaway group that was created by the Committee of 300, headed by the Rothschilds, and of course the Gray and the reptilian extraterrestrial forces. Okay, so they are the ones that have been pretty much creating or developing these, secret space colonies throughout our solar system and beyond, in which explains why they took millions of people of the earth to go be part of these, to make them slaves in these programs. Okay, so recently, something has been going on inside of Mars that has been actually delaying the disclosure process here on the planet Earth. Okay, and for those who don't know, there are breakaway groups. Okay, guys, and luckily, the good guys, what is known as these allies of humanity and the positive programs, have recently, in the last few years, taken over the surface colonies, okay, and some of the inner colonies. But recently, um, there's been some sort of you could say, development by the negative reptilians and negative grays of Orion, deep within the Mars cavern system. This Orion negative group, which is a malevolent faction hailing from, of course, the Alpha Draconis, Zeta Reticula 1 and 2, which is where the negative aliens come from, for those that haven't read my book. They have been occupied, apparently, they've been occupying this region inside of Mars, still, using humans as slave labor and, of course, food sources. But this Orion negative group has established several underground facilities over the last 70 years in collaboration with the ICC, which is the negative secret space programs, undetected, unfortunately, until recently by the galactic forces. And these facilities were actually used to build an army of androids that were intended for a nefarious invasion of the Earth. And however, this diabolical plot did not go unnoticed. Luckily, recently, after important meetings that have been taking place on Ganymede, which is Jupiter's moon, there was an anomaly inside of Mars, that was registering in their radar, that was previously unnoticed until 2 weeks ago. So the Guardians, these higher dimensional group of beings that are part of the Raw Confederacy, they are a 9-dimensional group of advanced beings, actually disrupted the shielding technology that these negative Orion groups were using to detect the Orion negative group's intentions, and then immediately alerted the Earth Alliance and our galactic allies. So, in response, a courageous contingent of super soldiers, they call it 13th generational super soldiers, from Solar Warden, were dispatched to Mars to neutralize the threat that has been going on or developing deep within the Martian planet. So this operation has been ongoing for a week. I believe that the battle ended on Sunday morning. That's when the battle ended, but it was going on for a week with intense battles raging deep in the Martian colony, in the underground subterranean colonies that were hidden, of course. This mission's goals, the mission's goals are clear, okay? Apparently, the main objective that is being conducted right now, as I speak, by our super soldiers in collaboration with galactic allies, is to clear out the Martian facilities. And some of the things that they found, of course, was a lot of humans that were still being taken there. Okay, and yes, within the Martian colony, they do have oxygen there. Okay, they are built very similar to the Earth's ecosystem. So it's basically on the Martian surface level of reality where it's depleted from oxygen. So apparently they discovered that there were still tons of humans that were being used as as slaves and also as food sources for these, negative aliens. So that's one of the things that they've been doing in the last week, is they've been actually rescuing some of these people that apparently have been there for over 90 years. And one of the things that we did over the week is we did destroy the android army. So there was a full out war between this negative group that developed this android army and, of course, the super soldiers of Solar Warden in rescuing the humans that were actually taken off world um, by the good guys recently within the last few days, not taken off world, I'm sorry, taken off from the Martian colony in order to be refacilitated and recuperated. And now they are secured in one of the motherships known as the Athena Biosphere. So that's where they have all the med beds right now, and they're using those med beds to pretty much rehabilitate these humans that were definitely being tortured. So the second thing that they wanted me to share with you guys is that the electromagnetic field of the planet is declining for a reason. Okay, the poles are shifting. Okay, so apparently the Guardians are watching the Earth's shift, the Earth's geomagnetic fields. You could say they're monitoring what's happening here on the Earth. That explains a lot of the earthquakes that are taking place. They're all natural, guys. They're all happening because Mother Earth is releasing a lot of density, a lot of trauma tension, collective trauma tension that has been imposed on her by the military industrial complex and the pollution industries. So while the battle on Mars continued up until recently, all right, that went on for about 2 weeks. The Galactic Alliance remains vigilant over Earth's supervolcanoes, mainly particularly Yellowstone. Okay, that's one of the biggest supervolcanoes, and if that erupts, guys, they say about half of America is going to, that would destroy half of or even 3/4 of the American nation. So the immense power of these geological features holds the potential to cause major catastrophic disruptions if left unnoticed, right? And unmonitored, of course. So the Galactic Alliance role is to prevent any interference with these natural wonders until, of course, the good people of the Earth ascend into the new Terra Earth that already exists in dimensions 4, 5, and 6. One of the things that I wanted to point out, everyone, is that everyone is ascending that is good. All right, if people are generally good, they don't have to be awakened, they don't have to be a light warrior. They brought it to my attention that the only people that are not going to be ascending are the wicked. All right, so if you guys have friends and families that are still unawakened, that are still programmed, as long as they have a good heart, all right, as long as they are generally good people, they're going to at least go to the fourth dimensional Earth, which is going to be so much better than this Earth. Okay, so they're watchful. I'm talking about the Guardian Alliance. Their watchful presence ensures that these volcanoes and massive fault lines, one of them being the San Andreas Fault in California. There's been many predictions, right, that the big one's going to hit California, sending about half of California into the ocean. Well, my friends, it's not going to happen on positive timeline, right, because of these counter efforts that are being conducted by the Galactic Alliance. So their watchful presence ensures that these volcanoes and massive fault lines do not erupt, causing them in delaying humanity's journey towards a brighter future. Because one thing they do want you guys to know is that unlike previous times, unlike Noah, the times of Noah, right, the times of the flood, these times are different, all right? The difference is that nowadays, it's only the wicked that are not going to make the shift, only the wicked that are going to be left behind, right, when we do transition into the new earth. Or may I say the wicked are going to be eliminated, right? They're going to be bursted by the solar flash. So the unstoppable momentum towards disclosure, all right, to the inevitable releasing of massive information is coming. It's coming. So as we navigate these challenging times, it is essential to recognize that disclosure is inevitable, guys. It is inevitable. It's coming. The truth about our cosmic connection, the truth about the real Earth history, the ongoing battle that has been going on against the forces of darkness for not only thousands, but millions, but technically billions of years, right? A battle has been plaguing the multiverse even before our own universe came into existence. And the presence of the galactic allies is gradually coming to light. It's all going to come to light. So it's going to happen in layers in order to prevent massive, of course, cognitive dissonance, but it has to happen in layers, okay? So the Great Awakening is unstoppable and nothing will deter its course. So on the path to ascension, okay, as the planet is shifting into a higher vibrational frequency, all right, we stand at the brink of a new era. That is a fact, okay? We see this, we read about this in ancient prophecies, right? We hear about this in indigenous tales when they talk about the golden age, the returning back to the golden age. So apparently, um, this is a time where humanity will ascend to higher levels of consciousness and understanding, and that, my friends, has been prophesied about in every record. So the Terra New Earth, as we call the New Earth, not Gaia, but the Terra New Earth, is a realm where peace, harmony, and unity will prevail. Our galactic allies, the Earth Alliance, and the Guardians are all working tirelessly to ensure that this transition occurs smoothly and safely, unlike the flood times. So these are times differently than the flood, okay? So the efforts of the Earth Alliance and our galactic allies are obviously a testament to the resilience and strength of God. The fact that there is a universal architect that many call God, okay? As the battle on Mars comes to an end, thank God, and it actually just came to an end yesterday, all right? This is a battle that's been going on for almost 2 weeks. The vigilance over our super volcanoes persist, the fault lines, monitoring the poles, and like I mentioned in previous lives, there are 4 biospheres that are actually working together to make sure that there are no major cataclysms taking place when the flip happens as a result of the solar flash. So all of this is going to come to light. We must remember to hold fast to the hope and the faith. We're closer than ever to this great awakening that is going to usher in the golden age. And nothing is going to stop the light from shining through the darkness. So let us continue to support these brave efforts. Let's remain steadfast, guys. Let's not buy into the negative doomsdayers, right? Or these people that are still predicting Project Blue being fake alien invasion, World War III. It's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. All right. Our collective attention will create our reality. So we are obviously on the positive timeline. So let's remain steadfast in our pursuit of truth and never lose our faith in the light, okay? The future is bright, and together we will ascend into the new Terra Earth, ushering in an era of peace, prosperity, and unity for all. And for those that doubt that these off-world colonies existed, there is ample evidence that has been coming in that NASA is suppressing, the media has been suppressing, where they have literally seen colonies on Mars, huge megalithic structures, very similar to some of the pyramids that we have here on Mars, including a human face on Mars. Okay, look into the works of the Martian Mysteries. I believe that was written by Richard Hoagland. Look into the works of Richard Hoagland. He documents all of this stuff that NASA's been covering up regarding what's been going on Mars. A lot of unexplained structures and anomalies have been observed, images that have been suppressed, guys, orbiters as evidence of course, these artificial constructions that have existed on Mars for millions and millions of years. And for those that have taken my course, when I do describe the history of the Earth, the cosmic and galactic history, you know what I mean, right? The first Mars colony was destroyed about 2 million years ago. That was the last time that we had an open human colony on Mars. Now, I do want to go over a diabolical, you could say ritualistic scene that took place, and you guys know what I'm probably referring to here. We're talking about the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. I don't know if you guys saw the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, but definitely some satanic rituals that were going on, a lot of Luciferian displays. So Yeah, let's talk about this because a lot of people are concerned. They really think that this is the cabal's way of signaling in or letting everybody know that the one world government is inevitable, but it's not. Of course, they understand the power of the collective thought, so of course they're going to use things like that in an opening ceremony, right? Knowing that billions are going to be watching. So, beyond the spectacle and celebration, there lies a deeper narrative, a final attempt by the cabal, apparently, to influence the collective mind of humanity, to implant subliminal messages into the subconscious of the minds of billions. Okay, so as we uncover these symbolic elements embedded within the ceremony, including the mocking of the Last Supper, the portrayal of the one world government in plain sight, and the ominous imagery of the white horse with the angel of death. All right, for those that watched the opening scene of the Olympics, it was definitely Luciferian. So the Olympics opening ceremony featured a performance that raised many eyebrows, apparently. The tablets, reminiscent of the Last Supper, a sacred scene in Christian tradition. However, this representation was apparently twisted, um, with drag queens taking the place of the apostles, which I find it to be blasphemous, right? Now that should tell us that the far left, right, or the deep state is actually just an extension of the globalist agenda. So seemingly mocking the sacred event, right? So this portrayal can be seen as an attempt by what remains of the cabal to undermine traditional spiritual values and sow the confusion among the viewers. This deliberate distortion of such significance um, such significant religious iconography, sorry, was designed to challenge and question the very foundations of faith. And even if you're not a Christian, I mean, let's just face it, guys. The God of the Cabal, all right, I'm not religious or anything. I was raised Christian. But if you guys want to be critical about this, the God of the Cabal is Lucifer. And apparently, the God of the Cabal has something against the people of the faith of Abraham. All right. So we call it the God of the Bible. But the God of the Bible is at war with Lucifer. And we see this. Okay. Apparently, they know that. All right. So it is believed that that this was designed to challenge and question the very foundations of everyone's faith, whether you are Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, or any belief systems worldwide. Well, personally, I believe that this was a satanic ritual in plain sight. That's my opinion. You guys could think whatever you guys want to think, but the opening ceremony and what they're still doing, even days after, is very aligned with Luciferianism. Okay, so the ceremony also showcased symbolism pointing towards a one world government. I don't know if you guys noticed that. A concept often associated with global control and the loss of sovereignty, as you guys know. This was depicted through various visual elements, such as a unified monochromic monochromatic stage settling and in a choreography, I can't even say that word, choreography that limited or hinted at uniformity and conformity. The imagery suggested a world where individuality and diversity are subverged under a singular authority. This portrayal aligns with apparently the Cabal's agenda to plant into the minds of the collective this idea of centralized power and control, subtly conditioning the audiences to accept a future that they believe is desirable. But of course, we know it's not going to happen in our timeline. So another thing I wanted to point out is that they featured this white horseman, right, in the angel of death, and it's very clearly described in the book of the Apocalypse. Perhaps the most striking symbolism is the white horseman, one of the four horsemen of the Christian apocalypse eschatology. Okay, the white horseman is often associated with conquest or pestilence, a harbinger of significant change or disaster, accompanied by imagery resembling the angel of death. This portrayal was a chilling representation of destruction and doom. The inclusion of these symbols can be interpreted as an attempt to instill fear and a sense of impending catastrophe in the subconscious minds of everybody that was watching, which again was in the billions. Okay, billions of people tune into this the Olympics. So the use of such powerful and evocative symbols in this Olympic opening ceremony suggest a final attempt by whatever's left of this puppet string cabal to exert influence on a global scale by embedding these images and narrative into a widely viewed and cultural significant event. They aim to tap into the collective subconscious, planting seeds of doubt, fear, and acceptance of their agenda. This event that was obviously seen by millions, okay, became a vehicle for disseminating these messages under the guise of entertainment and cultural celebration. The the Olympics opening ceremony served as more than just a display of athletic and cultural achievements. It is a platform for the Cabal's symbolic narrative. And it was also brought to my attention that for many years, the head of the Olympics was actually connected, and in some cases, some people believe was the Black Pope. The Black Pope is known as the supreme Jesuit leader. For those that have read The Secret Government, apparently he was taken out. But for many years, the Black Pope has been at the head of the Olympics. Just to just to throw it out there, right, guys? Even though they say they originated with the Olympians of ancient Greece, yes, but over years, over time, it became corrupted by the Cabal. Initially, it was entertainment. It was a way of displaying our athleticism. Uh, you know, featuring these games, which originated with the Olympians, right? The gods of Greece, and then later their children. But over the years, as the Luciferian Brotherhood of Babylon came to power, they overtook it. They overtook the Olympian Games. And for the last, I would say, 2,000, maybe even 3,000 years, it has been corrupted. So let's see. So as we move forward, it is crucial to just remain observant, guys. All right, and aware of these subtle messages conveyed through such events. That's why I don't even watch the Olympics anymore, um, because I knew that they were going to do something like this, and they even do this during the Super Bowl. I mean, every time they have a huge event, it's almost like the Cabal takes that opportunity to subliminally implant things in the minds of the collective. So we could say that this dark influence, even though it had a far wide reach, let it be known that their timeline was canceled. There will be no one world government, not in the positive timeline at least. All right. But the light of the truth and awareness can also dispel the darkness. By recognizing and understanding these symbolic attempts, we can actually resist their influence and continue to stand strong in our beliefs and values. Let us stay united, my friends, and informed, and even hopeful as we navigate these challenging times that we are all experiencing together as one human family. So the power of the collective consciousness, I will remind you guys, it is immense. It is what creates the collective reality. And together we can ensure that the light will prevail always, because again, it's wherever your attention goes where energy flows. So wherever your attention goes, imagine when you have billions of people thinking about something, holding the same image. Apparently that's what happens for the collective reality. Now, I also wanted to share a report coming from the Epoch or the Epoch Times, which is reliable reliable news. That's what I call it, reliable news. I do want to welcome a few of you before I read this report. I want to welcome Wolf Mother, Ricky Lee 1111, Conspiratory, Lori Regalado, Kathy Berg, MJF, Sylvia Foster, Digital Revolution, Justin Mercado, Project Skyfalls. Wow, the chat's going fast. And, Carrie Bonificio, Mathis Chronicles, Laurie Valette, Wolfman is in the house. Who else is in the house? Sasha Lee's in the house. Sylvia Vidal is in the house. And everyone else, all 1,096 people, 98 now that are in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, wow. This is amazing. You guys are awesome. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that, you know, let's not be critical of certain people. I noticed, I read some of the comments regarding my last guest, Mark and Anya, ambassadors of Planet Trinton, and I didn't like some of the negative comments that some people left, so I had to delete them. I think I deleted one or two, but there was a few others that I should delete. They are not NPCs, guys. Okay, they're not bad people, right? I'm very careful who I associate with, and we should just respect everybody. And even if you don't agree with what some of my guests have to say, it's okay, guys. We could still agree to disagree. I've brought a variety of guests so far, from Carrie Cassidy, right, to SGN on, to Scott McKay, to Laura Eisenhower, just to name a few. And I just want you guys to know that if you guys could just be nice to my guest and not leave any bad comments, that'd be greatly appreciated. We have to teach by example. We have to teach by example. And even if we don't agree with some of the stuff that they say, it's okay to disagree and still be friends. We don't have to be negative and bad about things, okay? I just wanted to throw that out there, guys. Another thing I wanted to share before I read this report from the Epic Times, which is very important, by the way, is that I will be teaching a 4-part series on Ascension Essentials starting, I believe, the 15th of August. I'm not sure. But just to give you guys a thorough understanding, I'm going to be introducing a variety types of meditations. We're going to be learning mindfulness meditation, transcendental, guided meditations, loving kindness meditations, breathing techniques, mantras, affirmations, visualizations, all kinds of stuff. We're going to be learning about being self-aware and how do we become self-aware. And then, of course, we're going to be learning about body health. And most importantly, we're going to be learning about the mechanics behind Ascension. So we're going to go deep into what Ascension is. All right, so that's going to be a 4-part class. And I guarantee you that after the 4th class, you guys are going to have all the knowledge, resources, and tools that you need to reach the highest level of Ascension. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, for those that were curious as to what my Ascension class was going to be about. So this is a totally new class, all right, aside from my Cosmic Origin class. All right, so let's get into the report. So this is coming from the Epoch Times, the Epoch Times. Paris Olympics organizers issue apology to Christians over the Last Supper. All right, so let's read about this. So the organization of the Paris Olympics apologized to Christian and Catholic groups on July 20th over a parody of Leonardo da Vinci, The Last Supper, a painting that was part of the last week's opening ceremony. The segment on July 26 copied the biblical scene of Jesus Christ and the 12 apostles sharing the last meal before his crucifixion. But it included drag queens, a transgender individual, and a nude singer. Clearly, there was never an intention to show and disrespect any of these religious groups. Yeah, right. So the opening ceremony tried to celebrate community, tolerance. Paris 2024 spokesperson Anne Decamp said at a news conference on July 28th, responding to the backlash that erupted in the aftermath of the performance. We believe this ambition was achieved. The spokesperson added, if people have taken any offense, we are really sorry. The International Olympic Committee said in a later statement that it has taken note of and welcomes the clarification given by the Paris 2024 Organizing Committee regarding the opening ceremony. So in the daily press briefing, the organizing committee said that there was never any intention to show disrespect towards any religious group or belief. Yeah, all right, come on. I mean, they've been showing drag queens even in our own school systems here under the far left. Now they're showing it on a global scale. I mean, this is ridiculous. You know, that is straight out Luciferianism, if you ask me. So they reiterated that their intention with the opening ceremony was always to celebrate community and tolerance. The statement continued, adding that the intention wasn't to offend anyone and that they were sorry. Okay. Well, anyways, I don't believe that they're sorry. I think that that was very well intended, right? They understand the power of the collective consciousness, and what they were trying to do is they were trying to influence us through our subconscious mind. Now, another thing I wanted to also mention, guys, is that I've noticed that there are a few people that follow me, and I think you guys mainly follow me for I guess my wisdom and my galactic knowledge of the cosmos and all of that. But there are a couple of people that don't like Trump, right? They don't like 45, soon to be 47, and they think that Trump is counterintelligence. They think that he is controlled opposition. Let me just let me bring some clearance to that. All right. Trump was actually approached by the Earth Alliance in 2013 or 14, I believe, before he decided to run against Hillary. All right. Let's go back to 2013, 14. Trump was actually briefed by the Earth Alliance. He was told the truth about what's really been going on and technically how our Constitution is been hanging by a thread and how the corporations have taken over our country. They're, pretty much revealing the mechanisms of the deep state. So they asked him, listen, Trump, we know your uncle. Your uncle was involved. John Trump was involved, has been involved with us for many, many years. All right. You're the only one that the cabal cannot buy off because you made your own billions. Okay. You're the only one that could do this because, first of all, they can't compromise you, right? You have your own money. They can't finance you. They always try to buy off politicians by giving them millions. And that's evident, right? Obama came in with less than $1 million, and Obama left out with 16 million. Let's just be real. Secondly, you are not part of their secret societies or their secret clubs, and he wasn't. Third of all, your family has a long history associated with the White Hats, and it's true. Okay, Trump is a descendant of the Lincolns. All right, there is some sort of genetic resemblance there. Okay. Anyhow, the whole point is this: there is a reason why they try to impeach him several times. There is a reason why they try to put him in jail. And last but not least, there is a reason why they try to eliminate him via, you guys know what I mean, okay? If he were counterintelligence, if he was controlled opposition, wouldn't all that not make any sense? Obviously, due to what's been going on, he stands as the greatest threat to the deep state. And that is a fact, guys. That is a fact. So for those few of you that are judging him, that are critical of him, don't judge him on something that his clone or some other Trump, another double, said, regarding that a few years ago. And don't judge him on him pushing Bitcoin. The real Trump is not pushing Bitcoin. I could guarantee you guys that. The real Trump is not pushing that, right? The medicine. I could guarantee you that. I mentioned this before and I'll mention it again, guys. There are 3 Trumps. There is the real Trump, and then the other ones are double gangers. I think that's the word, right? Double gangers. They're his double, okay? So the real Trump would never promote Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, digital cryptocurrency, or any cryptocurrency that is not XLM or XRP is run by the cabal, okay? If you don't believe me, look into blockchain technology. That directly ties into the nervous system of the beast, which is the Antichrist, AI, super AI, right? The infrastructure of the AI. That's what blockchain technology leads to, okay? So he's not promoting any digital currencies, okay? He's totally going to bring in the gold standard, the precious metals economy that is backed by the precious metals and the gold standard. And secondly, the real Trump would never promote that, right? You know what I mean? So for those few people out there that are hating on him, that think he's dark, he's not. And I could assure you, okay, I could assure you that he is not associated with any secret societies. And that is a fact. Well, okay, so he works within the Earth Alliance, and they are their own secret society, but they have to be in order to play the Cabal in their own game, right? They have to operate in secret. And that's why the Earth Alliance has several private bases all throughout the planet, the main one being Cheyenne Mountains, and I've talked about that. They have to secure themselves, right? They have these private settings where they have to conduct their businesses in order to be ahead of the Cabal. So he's not part of the what is called the Black Sun cult, right? The Black Sun cult is the core, it is where all the Luciferian secret societies answer to. Trump is not associated with that, all right? Trump is not under oath, okay? He is his own person, and he truly loves the Republic, and you could actually see it in his eyes, all right? You could see it in his eyes that he's willing to take well, he wasn't willing, but, that didn't stop him, right? A bullet, a bullet for the Republic, right? For this country. And he's right, guys. The only thing standing in their way is him, all right? He's the only one who is courageous enough, who has pretty much the capacity, all right, to drain the swamp. So I just wanted to bring that up for those few anti-Trumpers that follow me for just the galactic information, guys. Again, I'm not trying to convince you, but I'm just letting you know the facts. The facts, okay? He is not part of the Black Sun cult, all right? He's not a Mason. He's not part of he's not Skulls and Bones, all right? He's none of that. And to be honest with you guys, the only reason that there was a picture of him and Jeffrey, if you guys know what I mean, right? Jeffrey, was because Trump was actually trying to infiltrate Jeffrey to find out what the heck's going on with this private island. But when Jeffrey found out that Trump was actually a good person and that he was not a PEDO, you know what I mean, right? He wasn't willing to have sex with kids, in other words. That's when they completely blacklisted him, and he never went to the island. Okay, and that is a fact, guys. Okay, so of course the deep state is going to take that picture and promote it to make it seem like he was part of the island, and he wasn't. All right, so I support him, I vow for him, and I defend him because that guy's been through so much. All right, that guy has taken so much crap, right, including an attempt on his life for the Republic. And that is a fact. So I might lose some viewers, I might lose some followers as a result of me stating this, but that is the God-given fact, okay? And I mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. He's actually a fractal, a fractal of Saint Germain. He's a fractal of Saint Germain, all right? And for those that have read my book, The Secret Government, Saint Germain was the one who pretty much laid out the blueprint for the establishment of the Republic hundreds of years prior to 1776. It was the Count Saint Germain, and there is so much evidence that he existed in Europe for hundreds of years. They call him the Count Rakoski. He had different names. He appeared in different parts of Europe, but he was working the Rothschilds from within in order to create the Republic, to create a constitutional republic. And Saint Germain was also the mysterious figure that appeared at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, saying that speech that pretty much fired up the founding fathers into signing their lives, of course, if they would have lost the battle against Britain. So yes, he's a fractal of Saint Germain, and he's been prophesied about. And Trump will be the last president before the Ascension takes place, before we become part of the galactic community. All right, he is the last president who's going to save the Republic, and hence, in collaboration with the Earth Alliance Worldwide, which consists of an army of over 120 nations, the entire planet is going to be better as a result of that, okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and take some Q&A. If you guys have any questions, please type them in capital letters. Ishmael, what do you think about Trump's plane having 55 stars, New Republic with Canada and Mexico? Um, I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means for his plane having 55 stars. Who knows? I haven't looked into that. Yes, the Lionsgate is coming 888, August 8th, guys. That's when we're going to be aligned with the Sirius Sun, the Lionsgate. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Somebody says they like my hat. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ishmael, do you still see the solar flash next year? It's looking that it could take place during solar maximum, which happens in spring of 2025. But who knows? It might even take place this year, guys. Who knows? Because time is speeding up. But I'm not going to give any dates. I just want you guys to know is that we're there. All we have to do is be ready. That's it. Be ready. What is the difference between crystal children and rainbow children? Well, that's a good question. All right. So all of the old souls are under the category of indigos, right? Crystal children are pretty much beings that come from the 11th, 12th dimension and above. All right. Indigos come from dimensions 5 and above, all the way to 9. Crystals come from dimensions 10, 11, and 12. And rainbow children are pretty much representing the entire spectrum of advanced souls. So overall, uh, they're all advanced souls pretty much. Some of us are, like I said before, some of us are angels, right? Some of us are coming from the angelic realms, incarnated in human form. Some of us are archangels. So that explains the rainbows and the crystals. And then some of us are just advanced Pleiadians, advanced, Orions, advanced Syrians that have come back into human form. No, no. Somebody's asking, do you think we are heading into World War III? Absolutely not, guys. Absolutely not. The galactics will not allow it because this planet is way too important to the galactic and universal community. Oh, what are your thoughts on the double meteor shower tomorrow? I think it starts tonight. I think it was Dolores Cannon who said that something huge will be happening on the 29th or 30th of July 2024. So who knows? Let's just be prepared. But yeah, we are expecting a meteor shower late tonight, early tomorrow morning. That's for sure. That's a fact, guys. So I don't know what kind of effect that's going to have on humanity. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's just be prepared. Thank you so much, Mr. Political Viewer. Thank you so much. Question: did Trump win the war against the Cabal on another timeline besides this one? The Earth Alliance have actually pinned down the Cabal on every timeline. That's why the victory is inevitable. The victory of the light is inevitable. So yes, to answer your question, yes, it happened in every timeline. And a lot of that has to do with the temporal triple alliance, right? Who is the temporal triple alliance? Well, it is in a time traveling organization that began with Nikola Tesla and John Trump. I talked about that months ago on one of my lives. Joyful. Ishmael, will the final scary event take Trump out permanently, maybe with a plane crash before November? What are your thoughts? Absolutely not, Joyful. No, no, no. No, no, no. It's his Her return into office is inevitable before or even during or before November or even after. It is inevitable. So right now, the Galactics are ensuring that he saves the Republic. Absolutely. So nothing. I don't even think there's going to be any more attempts. We could say they've been all kind of neutralized. You know. Let's see. You notice the pic of the Orma King behind me. Thank you. That was a gift from one of the Galactic Jedi's. I want to thank you. Thank you for that. The Orma Kings is pretty much the Lion King, the king of Lyra, which is very, very intimately connected to the king, the lineage, the priest king lineage of King David. What dimensions do you want to be on or going to be? I want to be all the way in the 12th dimension so I could have access to all the realities. But that's just me. We'll see where I end up. Ricky Lee 1111 is asking me if I have any more news on Antarctica. Um, a lot of the advanced technologies have been recently recuperated, I think, over the last few months. And that big Leviathan that was frozen for thousands of years, which is a sea serpent, the size of a country or the size of a state, it's huge, has been pretty much dealt with by the Galactic Alliance. So we don't have to worry about a huge Godzilla-like sea monster wreaking havoc across the earth, right? And the Leviathan was actually talked about in the Bible, and it did say that it was going to be unleashed on the world at the end of days. But the Leviathan that broke off from Antarctica, that was actually caught by satellites approaching the south of Africa, I believe, and it was huge. Just its head alone was the size of a country. That Leviathan creature has been taken out. I could assure you that. I also wanted to thank the bridge call. Thank you so much. Joyful. Joyful, thank you so much. So what do you think will initiate the EBS? That's a very good question. I would have to say if it doesn't happen before November, it's definitely going to happen when 45 comes back into office. But from what I hear, they're planning on executing that sometime this month. They say by the end of this month or the first week of August. Well, that's what I hear. It's not solid. Just make sure you guys have 30 days, 15 days of water and fluid. That's it. So yeah, I hear that I think the 30th, tomorrow, several birdies are saying that, but we'll see. We'll see if it happens. Astral projection is very real, very real. And believe it or not, whether you know it or not, a lot of you guys astral project during your sleep. Yes, XRP and XLM is legit. Everything else is not. Everything else is controlled by the opposition or was enacted by globalists, right? And that is any cryptocurrency that is not backed by precious metals or gold, that is not part of the QFS, is part of the dark side. So I wouldn't trust Bitcoin. I wouldn't trust any form of digital currency. Kamala, Harris is just another puppet. You guys know that. Come on. You guys know she's another puppet. And yeah, she is almost as inadequate as Brandon is. I mean, if you really think about it, she's not bright. She's actually very, very idiotic, if I could say that. Hopefully, they don't know who I'm talking about. But yeah, Kamala. Oh my God, it's the biggest joke ever. Like I said, I knew somebody was going to ask me that. Canada's asking me, why do you think Trump spoke at the Bitcoin conference? That wasn't the real Trump, guys. That was a fake Trump. Remember, there's three Trumps. The real Trump will never promote anything that is not associated with Nisera Gesera or the QFS, and that is a fact. I would suggest, my friends, to use discernment when it comes to seeing anything on the media. All right, Kathy Karg is saying, why couldn't the negative Mars happenings be foreseen with Looking Glass? Because the negative Orion groups were actually using an advanced AI system to shield themselves on level 34, deep in the Mars underground network. And so it was unnoticed by the Alliance for many, many years. It was obviously unnoticed by the Earth allies and the Galactics until recently. I guess in the last 2 weeks, that's when the Rock Confederacy came to warn them, to let them know that, hey, man, these guys are developing, they're brewing an army of androids. And that's not very good. Take them out. So that happened exactly about 2 weeks ago. And the super soldiers were dispatched 2 weeks ago, and they just finalized it. I think it was Sunday morning, yesterday morning. That's when they finalized that war. And about 1 million humans apparently were there, that they were, you know, taken back on board to recuperate and rehabilitate. Yeah, the inner Mars colonies are huge, guys. They are huge. Again, we're going to have access to all of those colonies when the disclosure takes place. All of that stuff is going to be handed over to us, the Earthlings. Of course, under the leadership of wise souls, of course. So yes, this Mars situation is what's been holding back Gesera Nicera, apparently. Among other things. I think I mentioned this before, that the alliance was not done in clearing most of the underground facilities. The main location for the Anunnaki, the negative Anunnaki that took over, were located in Africa. That's the Apsu, right? That's where Enki and his entourage first build out their headquarters. So some of those facilities, I think it was in the last few months, have been cleared as well. All right, one more question, guys. One more question. Yes, there are no clones for the Kennedys. Those are real, guys. Those are real. And as a reminder, for those that watched my video called Tesla, all right, Tesla, the Triple Temporal Alliance, the original JFK Sr. survived, and he was taken off world. So no, it is not that guy who just recently came into the scene. What's his name? Forget his name. Something Nahadi. No, he's not JFK Sr. He's just he's actually lying to people about being JFK Sr. So a lot of the hurricanes and tornadoes that are taking place are all natural. A lot of them are happening because the Earth is releasing a lot of dense collective trauma from the planet. That's what's happening right now. Um, no, Pascal Nahadi, I don't think he's legit. He's proclaiming to be JFK Senior, and that is not correct. From the intel that I get, JFK Senior is well and alive, and he's being protected. I'm not going to mention where he's at, but he's being protected by the Earth Alliance. So yeah, that's not him. Yes, the Earth is ascending. Again, let me just remind you guys that anybody who claims to be anybody, Jesus, JFK, Senior, um, I don't know. There are people out there who believe that they are returned messiahs. Don't buy into that. Don't buy into that. All right. Use discernment. There is no such thing as one single person saving the world. It is all of us. We're a team, and we're all working together. And we are all God's angels. Just remember that. All right, guys, I'm going to have to go a little early today. Thank you so much for being here. I don't think I'm going live Wednesday, but I will be releasing my clip from the Starseed conference that took place in San Diego a few weeks ago. I'm going to release that clip this Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific time for you guys to watch. A lot of good information was revealed there as well. So with that have said, may the God force be with you all, and we will see you guys on the next one.